who's young lady in the kimono?
Okay, so you kind of talked about that the casting directors know what they want when you go into an audition, but is there any way besides being professional to distinguish yourself and make yourself stand out?
I can answer that. Yes. There are two things you can do as an actor. You can either it's archery. This is all archery. It's just that they have a target and they're waiting for someone who hits that target. You can either nail that target like you are one of the merry men and just hit it like you're in tights, or the option two is to shoot a passing pheasant. So just go, and come in there and have some decisions. Like sometimes you can look at something and you're like, I'm not what they're looking for, but maybe I can show them that their ideas are not as good as mine. And every now and then you can make a decision. You can find a decision. You can have enough craft as an actor to be like, I'm going to find something in this character that's in the material. It's always in the material. And I'm going to bring it out. It's going to be really interesting and really cool. And no one else is going to do this. And the casting director is going to be, oh my god. And then they're going to show it to the director and writer, going, oh my god. And the writer's going to go, I have to rewrite everything now. There are characters who are supposed to, like Spike from Buffy was supposed to be a one episode. And he was supposed to be a cowboy, and it was written for a cowboy character. And I'm pretty sure that I do know that he came in and did that, and he said I figured out that from day one that he's in love with Buffy, and that's how I played him. And I'm like, and he became the show. He outlived the show. The character would not die.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Eddie Allen's audition when he went in for Leader Deathlock, and he I swear, is the creepiest villain ever. Because he doesn't sound like a villain. Evil boy. He sounds like Leader Deathlock. He's the kind of villain that you never really know what he's thinking. And they didn't know really what they wanted when he came in. They knew they didn't want the typical villain, tough guy voice. So they just said, kind of play with it. Give us something. So he went back to what kind of creeped him out as a kid. And Boris Karloff, in Frankenstein and, various other roles that he had. And that sort of, yes, I do love a man who laughs at his own jokes. Hey, I'm sorry. See, I'm sorry. Can I take that again? I need the four. I need the three gurgles. I need the three. But yeah, he sort of combined Boris Karloff with like a Roddy McDowell sort of kind of a British sort of, I'm never going to let you know what I'm really thinking. And it just, the hair stands up on the back of your neck.
He's way too comfortable.
I'm telling you.
It wigs you out. It's
yeah.
such a performance.
Yes. Oh yes. And that is one of the things that made him just so incredibly creepy.
As you say, shooting down a pheasant.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so fascinated by this wig back there. I just can't. Yeah, do you see the? You're the only wig that I can see. You're like the audience.
She's like, that's my real hair.
If it's your real hair, you're more impressed.
And now I hate you.
When you're recording a demo to send out and play for people, you want it to sound really good. Do you rather, for someone who's just starting out, should you buy your own equipment? And if so, do you have any recommendations? Or should you go to a studio and pay for a recording?
Speaking of Crispin Freeman, he used to live in New York, and it was lovely because we could, go in and visit him, on a whim or whatever. I recorded my demo in Crispin Freeman's converted coat closet in his apartment. He's a fellow Mac user.
He's a big tech head too.
Oh yeah. He does sound design, and he does all of these lovely, nifty sound effects things. He's got this whole library of reference source material and that kind of thing. He's brilliant. But he and I negotiated a deal. It cost like $250. And what I did was, naturally, if you've done work, you put that first, naturally. If you haven't, and not everybody has. Let's face it, everybody has a first job. What you want on your demo is stuff that not only you can do well, but that you can do for long periods of time. Because you never know if your session is going to be half an hour or a day and a half. And so you want stuff that you can rely on and go back to easily and stuff like that. So I sort of picked a few things, like a cab driver, or the what I call the Stepford mom, who's, whose little precious has a cold today and can't go to school. And of course I'll get you the remote, darling. That kind of thing. And what can I do, and what would this person say? So I just wrote little scripts for myself, and that got me audiobook work. It doesn't have to be, because studio time, I haven't needed to book a studio, outside studio for a while, but the last time I did, with the casting agency that I worked for, it was like $150 an hour. From the time you walk in until, whatever you need to do is completed. So we had to, you have to find a concise, affordable, effective way of giving a casting person a clear example of what you sound like. I've heard, I'm not here to bash anybody, I'm not going to name names, but I've heard some, people who've been doing this for years, and you go to their website and you click listen to my demo and all this stuff. It is the biggest mishmash of gobbledygook. You can't even hear what they're saying because it's all sound effects and weird music and stuff like that. Forget about all that stuff. You want a clear, it's your calling card when you're not there. Oh yeah, Amy can do like British. Okay, Amy can do dialects, or Steve can do, barking, animal noises, or whatever you're good at and whatever you can sustain. And if you can record from home, so much the better.
I'll say for demos, it's good to have a friend help you, and if you have a friend who has a better setup. I had Orion hits me my demo, because my previous one was a mishmash of terrible stuff. I've politely asked everyone to delete it and take out the hard drive and bury it on consecrated ground. But you want someone who's not you, who's going to say, don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't ever do that again. Or tell you if something, because you're not going to have the best gear for your own work, especially at first. But for home recording, like some people, you have a really good. I have a $100 setup. I've got the cheapest. I bought a Yeti. I've got a Yeti microphone that's like $80 on Amazon right now. That is a USB microphone that goes into my laptop, and I use Audacity. Some people, that's like the worst program, and it's free. I can't.
I'm getting used to GarageBand.
Can't get used to GarageBand.
Don't talk, honey.
But I'm fine with the Yeti. I know it's not the best mic, but I'm fine.
Yeah. I came across this nifty-looking thing the other day. I don't know if my colleagues have had experience with it, but it's called the Eyeball.
Oh yeah.
It's made by a company called Chaotica. And I thought this can't work. This just can't work. So what the heck? I'll give it a try, and it's about this big. It's got a big hole in it.
It looks like
in
Gladys.
the front.
Yeah.
And it's got a hole where your mic sits. You put your mic in the big hole and down in, and it just sits there. It's an acoustical foam, a thick acoustical foam, and it's got a pop filter that you can insert. And there's YouTube clips that you can watch it with and without, and the difference in the sound and whatever. And supposedly it may not eliminate the need for all the egg crate foam on the walls and stuff like that. Or I record in the attic of our home. And it's like hanging quilts and stuff to deaden the sound. And I'm thinking, if this thing works and eliminates having to spend money doing all that other stuff to soundproof your recording area, cool. So they delivered it the day we left. to come here, so I'm dying to get home and try it. But anyway,
Let me know. I've been kind of curious.
okay, I will.
Burn through a few of these super
Oh my
fast.
goodness. We have.
Oh, heck.
You want to do a lightning round, or
We do lightning round for
let's
like
do
5 minutes?
Yeah, let's just like super fast.
We all-
I get to go.
So we've actually gone a little over, but I guess we can do a very quick.
We'll
lightning
gab all
round.
day if you let us.
So for about 5 minutes. So let's do lightning round.
Yeah.
There.
Hi. So like I'm a voice actor too, like still starting out. And one thing I kind of get a little bit
A
discouraged.
little bit louder, sweetie.
The one thing I do when I get discouraged is the fact that when I want to work on my demo, like do like a little kid like all squealy or get like all angry and stuff. Should I get discouraged if like everyone around me starts getting freaked out when I start to do weird voices, or just acting like I'm pissed off just to work on a line?
Should you get freaked out when people see you in character? In other words, like doing your
Should
thing.
I not get like I should stop doing this when there's like family around or like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a time and a place for it. If you want to break out, like in your best British or something, like talking to a car dealer, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, whatever. I do this all the time. I'm such an ass when I'm out in public. I use my voices all the time to mess with people. I'm like, hello, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Like, where are you from? Brooklyn. Whatever. Just to mess with them. And I mean, the people that know you and love you, they'll learn to just integrate what they know of you. They're like, oh, that's him doing his voices. God love him. So don't get discouraged. I mean, sometimes if they're disturbed, that means you're doing it right.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, so don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. It's sometimes it's really good practice to do your voices in surrounding in an environment where they're not necessarily expected, because it'll kind of emulate the nervousness you will feel auditioning. So it can kind of prepare you in a way. So I think it's a good idea. So long as don't do it like at a funeral or something. That would probably be inappropriate. I mean, pick your battles, man, for God's sake. But I mean, don't.
But yeah, I would say don't turn it into a confrontation.
Right.
If somebody says, "Oh, you're crazy," you know what? Hey, thank you for sharing that. I'll keep that in mind. Because the quickest way to shut somebody up is to agree with them.
Right. Steal their
So embrace it. Let them think they, have some valuable input. You idiot. And then just thank you so much, you ass.
Not crazy.
Don't actually say
That's
that.
why there's a reason they call it acting.
I know. Not crazy.
Hang in there,
Actor.
Hang in there.
Roll. Who had a question? Yes, you. Yes.
Okay, do you guys think it's better as an actor to be like really organized or just kind of wing it like all the
What looks like winging isn't winging, dear. I'm so sorry.
It's totally organization to me. Like everyone has their own ideas of organization. I mean, it can certainly help if you're organized. You can't. You have to get a day planner. The most important thing as an actor you got to remember is like dates. When this audition is, who's there, what's expected, what's the name of that receptionist. I mean, be organized enough to be able to be like a functioning adult in the real world. Yes, but I mean, beyond that, I think you don't feel like
It's
you
up to
need
your
to.
discretion.
You've been amazed how many people fall short of that one. That's all.
Right. And don't beat yourself up if you don't always live up to your organization skills, because I don't ever. I'm terribly disorganized.
Yeah, because when you're working freelance, as we all do, you're the one who has to keep the records for filing your tax return.
If you've never been a freelancer with taxes, it's the most horrifying thing.
Oh God! Oh man!
So yeah.
But if you've got the bucks and you want to hire, a business manager or something like that, please stay connected to them. How many people have heard the horror stories? So and so has been acting for 50 years and they're living in a cardboard box because somebody absconded with all their money. You stay in their face. Hi, I just wanted to call and check in. I haven't received a copy of the such and such whatever. Just let them know. Go online and check your if you've invested in some stocks or whatever. Stay connected. Don't just turn over your money control willy-nilly to somebody else. Unless it's like your father, in which case, that doesn't always work.
And even then,
Not
ask for a reference.
But, you kind of pick and choose and follow your gut. But, it helps so you at least know what's going on. with the money.
I think we have time for one more quick question, and then we got to wrap it up. So
No, we're being waved at frantically from the back.
Way in the back.
Would you say that it ever comes to a point where you might be like too old or too late to try to get into this business?
Yes, I would.
Too old or too late to get in this business?
I would say never.
No, never. There's always going to be something out there. I mean, you know, if you're 80 and you've never acted before, there's a character for you. There's an 80-year-old in some movie or on a play somewhere. I mean, no. That's the thing about really good drama, wherever it happens to be, whether it's an audiobook form or an anime or stage or whatever. We watch drama because we like the diversity of characters, and the more the merrier. So yeah, you're never too old.
I can say right now that like from like the YouTube, the most common phrase in the YouTube video and the little YouTube show community is, where are we going to find someone 65 to play the principal of the school? I don't know what we're going to do. It's like there's 3 guys in LA who are just
Never too old. Never too old.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We have to wrap it up now. Oh, thank you. You're very, very sweet. We all have to. Well, several of us have to run to autograph signing sessions. So forgive us if we pop out and without like hobnobbing. Come see us at the autograph line. If not, you'll see us around the con and the theaters for a little while. So.